Welcome to Lakers Reign, the podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers.
I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Get access behind the purple curtain for an exclusive look into the championship pedigree of Los Angeles, the lifestyle, the music, the vibe. Here's your host, Nick Hamilton.
Single shot of whiskey, up can make it double. All my people with me always making trouble.
Ladies and gents, welcome to our inaugural edition of Lakers Reign. That's right, everything Lakers. Everything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, players, coaches, past and present. Now, the day we've all anticipated. That's right, Media Day. And this is unlike any Media Day that we've experienced in a long time since the days of Kobe Bryant. And that is one Mr. Lonzo Ball. First round, the most anticipated player in the league, the man who sells out arenas at Summer League. Imagine that. But he's that guy. He has the, quote, magic touch. And the interesting part about this is that Media Day, it was about the young kids. It was about Lonzo Ball. It was about the return of Brandon Ingram. Larry Nance Jr., who happens to be the oldest guy on the squad, even though he is about 23 or 24 years old. Imagine that. And we're sitting here salivating over the season that hasn't even begun yet. The anticipation of what could potentially happen with this squad. We already know what started in the new era, and prayers were answered. Jeannie Buss finally took over the Los Angeles Lakers, something we all have been praying about. And president of basketball operations is now Magic Johnson, as well as the general manager and Rob Pelinka, who's a former player's agent. That combination and the vibe that was set, let me paint a picture for you really quick. The vibe was so energetic. It was so positive. It was so eager. It felt like a kid on Christmas Eve, waiting to open up its gifts on Christmas Day. Hell, I wanted to play. I wanted to suit up for Luke Walton and company. And it was great to see some of the new kids and some new blood in Lakers gold and purple. When I look at a success story like a Vander Blue, who has the opportunity to finally make an NBA team. This guy has grinded for years in the then D League, now the G League. Great to see a guy like him who actually won the Summer League championship with the Lakers and Lonzo Ball. And then you have a guy like Brandon Ingram who has gained a nice amount of weight. He's now 6'10", so he had a growth spurt. And the most ironic thing about talking with Brandon Ingram is not just the fact that he was able to work out this summer, change his diet, get stronger, get better. The fact that he wants to be the number one option. And guess who he worked out with this offseason? Not just his boys, not just his trainer, but a well-known NBA champion. Take a listen.
How was the off-season workouts for you?
It was good. I worked extremely hard this summer. I had Brian Keith, my guy, of course, my mentor, worked me out a lot this summer, mentally and physically. So I felt great. I feel great right now. I'm just ready to go.
Did you get a chance to work out with Kobe at all this season?
Oh no, I have good talks with him this season. I plan to I'll be talking with him during the season about film, about different ways I can attack the game. So I have had a chance to work out with Kevin Durant.
Okay.
So that went well.
How much are you looking forward to this season, especially with everything that's on the line? You, Lonzo Ball, guys are coming back into the fold. A lot of high hopes this season for the Lakers.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's not every day you get to play with a point guard of that caliber. So for us to have a point guard like that and the special pieces that we have around with the still in the draft, Kyle Kuzma and Larry Nance and Julius Randle getting better and everyone around here, I think a lot of guys have great attitudes. We're just ready to play.
What are your expectations for yourself?
I think I'm just more confident in myself. Get back to the way I was playing before. Just with the grit on the court, my toughness, offense and defense, and just affecting the game. So I'm ready. I'm ready to play.
All right, so that was Brandon Ingram, who wants to be the number one option. He came out and said, hey, I want to be the go-to guy. I want to be the number one option. And you can't blame him. And I'm glad to see a young man take the initiative to want to be the number one option in the midst of everybody crowding around Lonzo Ball, who's going to be spectacular himself. I mean, Magic Johnson even came out and said he sees a lot of himself in Lonzo. And he also sees James Worthy in Brandon Ingram. So, of course, we had to hear from the Magic Man himself. I mean, this is the guy, he's the architect of all of this. He is the builder, and we believe in Magic. I'm talking about Magic Johnson. Take a listen to what he had to say about this new Lakers core. We're going back to championship status. Best believe that. Magic.
How impressed were you by Brandon Ingram coming back in the way he looked as far as adding more weight and being more fit, the program that you put him on?
Well, I was very happy because I think this is going to be a breakout season for B.I. And we need him to step up and be the leading scorer on this team and really just be aggressive on the offensive end. And I think him and Lonzo will have a great chemistry, like myself and James Worthy used to have, where I knew I could look at James and he knew what I knew was going to happen. He knew what was going to happen. And then James got on that wing, and boy, there was nobody in basketball like James Worthy being on that wing. And I think it's going to be the same with those two guys. And I'm looking forward to them forming that chemistry on the court starting tomorrow. Now, I want to warn everybody that, this team has, 6 new faces and so many young players. So it's going to take us a while to get the chemistry that we're looking for. But we're going to get it eventually. But, when we're looking at how many new faces we have on this team, and they're playing key roles too, that chemistry is going to be a key for us.
How much pressure is that? Good Lord. I don't even want to imagine that. I'm glad Magic can speak about me because it made me nervous, and I'm not either one of those two guys or have the skill set. So you can only imagine what's going through those two kids' heads. It's apropos to what they're trying to establish. I think they're well on their way. And there's another young rookie who I had an opportunity to speak with as well in Josh Hart. And Josh Hart is currently looking to be cleared. He's dealing with some hamstring issues, but hopefully he'll be healed up in enough time for Luke Walton to use him the way he needs to be used in that offense. I had a great opportunity to get to know Josh Hart because a lot of times you don't get a chance to get to know these young players. But I had an opportunity to talk to him about basketball, about signing with Rock Nation, and the megastar he had an opportunity to chat with. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. Oh, no. Several times over. We only get a glimpse of this particular megastar. So take a listen and check out Josh Hart.
What has this whole experience been like for you, especially with Media Day, getting prepared, practices, everything like that?
A lot getting thrown at us. It's a blessing to be here. It's our dream to be here. So it's been a blessing.
What have you learned thus far? I know you only been here a short while, but what have you learned thus far just about the culture? It seems like there's a renewed attitude with this team, with this franchise.
Yeah, definitely. It's a new thing. And we're just trying to just continue to build off of it. We just want to make a great foundation and just keep building, but on defense, toughness, and have that kind of mentality, and that mentality brings success. So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now.
Now, what does it mean to be signed by Rock Nation? Obviously, they're a huge conglomerate, a lot of things going on. What does that mean for you, and what made you sign with Rock Nation? Yeah,
it's definitely cool, man, and what made me sign with them was just the kind of like the family atmosphere. Obviously, it's at the same time it's still a business, but I'm close with all those guys. Obviously my agent Joe Brands, but Juan Perez, Pecas, all those guys. All those guys are just people that I can call. Whenever I'm. I have a problem or anything and just talk to them. So it was definitely, those kind of reasons.
You got a chance to meet Jay-Z yet?
Yeah, I met him several times. Cool dude. Definitely a sports fan, so that's cool.
Okay, so you won't get too nervous if he comes out, sits courtside, and checks you out?
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
He can come and enjoy the lake show.
Last thing before I let you get on out of here, you being in Los Angeles, anything else you like to do other than obviously playing for the Lakers, but you watching football or going to the beach? Like, what's been your thing since you've been in LA?
I love football.
Who's your team?
And I'm a Redskins. So
okay. So you enjoyed it the other day against the Raiders.
I was at the game. I had my OG Sean Taylor jersey on, doing all that kind of thing. So that was cool. But really just going to the sport events. So showing the support for the Rams, for the Galaxy. I haven't been to a Dodgers game yet, but that's one thing I would love to do.
Charger game too. You got
the Charger game too. So it's cool. And for me, we got TG on the Rams for who's with Rock Nation. You got Melvin Ingram on the Charger side with Rock Nation. So those are two guys definitely want to show love to.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Good luck with your season, and we look forward to you balling out.
Appreciate it.
So, hey, man, that was Josh Hart of the Los Angeles Lakers, Mr. Rock Nation himself. And it's interesting because there's so much to do in Los Angeles, and there's such a buzz around the Lakers this season. It reminds me of when the Rams finally came back to Los Angeles, how much of a buzz was going on with the Rams and their return to Los Angeles their first year. And this reminds me of the Lakers. The resurgence, the passion, the purpose. I mean, everything you can have. I'm looking forward to opening night. And I even had a chance to talk to Julius Randle. I asked Julius about the true battle for LA, Lakers versus Clippers on opening night at Staples Center. And yes, best believe, thank you, Adam Silver, for making this a Laker home game and the Lakers debut of the rejuvenated Julius Randle. Check out what he had to say about the fight for LA.
You guys have a true battle for LA coming up against the Clippers, first home game of the season. How much fun will that be for you and this team?
It's always exciting, playing against Blake and DJ and those guys, and our old teammate Luz over there. So, it's always the little in-town rivalry, and guys, honestly, along with it being the Clippers, it's opening night, so guys are excited.
How much has the culture changed? It seems like there's a renewed energy, a renewed vibe coming into this season.
It's changed, honestly. And credit to Magic and Rock. They've done a great job of implementing, what they want, for this organization, and guys are following along.
And, of course, we could not leave you all without having something from Lonzo Ball, the big baller. Yes, there are a lot of expectations upon Lonzo Ball, but let me tell you something. I believe this kid is going to be dynamite. He's going to be a superstar. What he's doing, the way he sees the court is almost geometric. And I said that numerous times, and that's what makes him so special. And the fact that he looks up to Magic Johnson, not just as an uncle, but as a bigger brother, someone he can lean upon, someone he can talk to. And a guy like him who has all this amounts of pressure, not because of something that came out of his mouth, but others that are around him have said numerous comments. So now he's got to live up to that. And I think that that's going to come to fruition. I can see him, if he stays healthy, I can see this kid being Rookie of the Year. I can definitely see that. I mean, I know Markelle Fultz was the number one pick, but nobody really cared about Markelle Fultz. It was all the talk was about Lonzo Ball and how he was going to impact that offense and make Luke Walton's job that much easier. And Luke thinks highly of him. This is a kid who hustles. I had a chance to watch him in a couple of training camp practices. He hustles. He's the first guy to the floor. He's the last guy to leave. His shooting is incredible. He's working on his defense. I think he's going to be the complete package. Give this kid some time. We live in a microwave society where we want everything yesterday. No, it's not going to happen. But they're well on their way. Will they make the playoffs this year? I'm not leaning towards that, but they could prove me wrong. Realistically, if they don't make the playoffs, but let's say they win between 35 and 40 games this year, that's a drastic improvement. We're going to have some fun with this. We're going to break some things down for you. I'm going to toss it over to my man, my producer extraordinaire, Mr. Pete Turner.
Thanks, Nick. When I was first building this show, I wanted to pick a couple of people who could really get LA, who were young, who were hip, who got basketball. So I asked Nick to be the host, and I asked DJ Severe to be my musical director. DJ Severe is the DJ for the Dodgers. He knows music, he knows sports, he knows how to capture the vibe. My first question to him was, who is going to do our theme song? And he said, if you can get him, Bryce Vine will have something for us. So I grabbed Bryce, I grabbed DJ Severe, and this is what came out of it. 2 quick bits from this interview, one from DJ Severe, one from Bryce Vine. The rest of the interview I'm going to post up on the site so you all can go back and take a look at it later on. But for right now, enjoy parts of my conversation with Bryce Vine and DJ Severe.
We've got our music director for the podcast, DJ Severe, here, but we also have with us the guy that wrote our theme song. Tell us about that song. And you always say, I've got the perfect song already.
Yeah.
Tell us about this song. Tell us why it's perfect.
Well, it's literally called On the Ball. It's like even like a play on words with like any sports reference, I guess, I recognize when something works for a sports game, and like what like the kind of things that you do, what you play, what makes people feel good or feel whatever you're trying to, the motion you're trying to get out of them. But this song did that for me, and we already have a song for the X Games that that just was on accident too, the Where the Wild Things Are. So I was just like, damn, dude, like it's like an uplifting feeling kind of song. It's real music. It's a real guitar. My producer played it and came up with the whole beat. So it just feels good. It's weird to describe a song that we're not listening to, though.
You've got your hands on the song. What do you think of it, DJ Severe?
I'm kind of biased because I'm already a fan. You know what I mean? Even discovering Sour Patch Kids to me, that Sour Patch Kids just blew my mind when I first heard it. You know what I mean? And then the ending, and then to come right back around with this, which, like you said, when he described the podcast to me at first, I hadn't heard the song. So he described the podcast. The minute he told me you were sending me a song, I said, I know what I'm going to be looking for. I just had a rough blueprint. And as soon as first off, you sent me all the links with the different runs. I listened to the bass line. I'm listening to this because I wanted to get all those in my head first before they were all put together. That was kind of like an extra thing I wanted to do.
Oh, did we send you the stems?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I was listening to I'm like analyzing all those. I'm like, okay, now I want to see how all this comes together because I was kind of low key checking out your the way you put music together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm really a student of that. But to hear the song come together, now I'm imagining that's when the podcast is totally opened up for me after the song. You know what I mean? Because now you got to hear the song. To me, anything like that, any intro song is what people look forward to in any podcast they listen to. I listen to several podcasts, and it's always the intro that wants to drag you in. It's almost like the Game of Thrones theme song. Like, I always have to listen to that before I watch the show. The song totally says everything that you need to say. It's the sound of LA that needs to be, and it's almost like if it only stays on this podcast, it needs to be a take the field song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? It needs to be like an anthem-y type.
You're talking about Sour Patch Kid. Did you mean On the Ball? The
No. We're talking about On the Ball.
I just wasn't.
I'm talking about On the Ball as well.
I just wasn't sure.
No, I'm talking about On the Ball.
Oh, you got to hear the new version because it sounds so much better. It really does. I never was a huge fan of this song. I always thought it'd be good for like a sports thing because it's excited, but I was never the biggest. This wasn't my favorite one of my songs because I just hadn't figured out how to deliver it right yet. But we did it yesterday, and it sounds so much better now. So that's why I want you to hear it now because then you'll really get the vibe. But yeah, no, I'm super glad. It's cool, man. It's cool to like connect with people that are passionate about music.
Let me ask one more question so we can all go on to the next thing. DJ Severe, as you look at the music that you want to create in this podcast for Lakers fans that come here, what comes to mind? What's the vibe that what do you feel? What are you trying to create for us?
Wow. The best new undiscovered hip hop that's coming out and no boundaries on it. It could be what's being called mumble rap. It can be whatever. Because I listen to the beats first and see what it works and if it fits. To some of the best 90s that needs to be brought back around. Definitely Bryce's stuff as it comes out with the horns and the different things. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it grow. And to me, it's a marriage to where the interviews are top notch and the music, although behind the scenes, helps it ride along. Just like a perfect marriage to where it's almost there, but it's there, and it's just like the two can coincide and one not overshadow the other, but just be a perfect. The interview spot on, the topic spot on.
What would you say the overall goal of the show is? Well, I mean, I don't know if that's like I don't know what sports shows are necessarily like.
I would think it would be not even about the sports, more about the behind the scenes, the things that people really don't know. Like, forget the stats of the players,
show them as people.
Yeah, show them as people and what they like. And that's where I want this podcast to go, at least for me musically. I wanted to marry up together to where, okay, it's like the show Insecure.
I haven't watched that, but you're the third person that has brought that show up.
The music, incredible. They give you just this new, untapped R&B, neo-soul, hip-hop, whatever you have, and it's all been solid. Just to hear it, and it marries perfectly with the show. The show's awesome. It touches on the topics of of today within the dating scene. It's spot on.
It's a scripted show.
It's a scripted show, yes.
I want to answer your podcast question, and I think you guys are both nailing exactly what I want, but from different aspects of it. But as a producer, I'm sitting back, and here's what I want it to be about. It's about family. This is the Lakers community. They want to know more about this. Yes, the numbers are important, and you can get that stuff in a lot of places. Here on our show, what we're going to create is this vibe, the LA musical vibe. You're going to learn about Brandon Ingram. Absolutely. Not just that pizza's his favorite food, but you're going to get to know the dude. Because here's the team I want to support. I love the Dodgers already. And I love all baseball, but I love the Dodgers. I am so much more in tune with them now because my friend plays the music at the stadium. So I want to give that to the greater fans of LA is to say, look, not only is it the guys on the court, it's the legends. It's the guys whose names are on those blankets up on the rafters. It's also Morty, the guy that polishes the concrete. Chris, the guy in accounts receivable. All these different folks have a role in making Showtime happen. And I think people want to know that. They want to know who these people are. And they have incredible stories. Maybe they don't have 5 hours for the incredible stories. But, we do want to spend time talking to those folks, saying this is part of the Lakers family. This is who's out there trying to do it. And then you see the passion, you get their context, and you gather perspective. And all you can do, you're going to love the Lakers even more. Win or lose, yeah, of course you want them to win, but it's your family. You stand by each other that much more closely. Because I want to bring people together just like you, Bryce. Like I want, if you don't agree politically, great. Can we agree on the Lakers? If you're talking about
right. Find some kind of common ground.
Then let's just worry about that. Let's worry about loving each other and save the other arguments for another show because that's not ours. Our show is about family, about the Lakers, about love and respect and some good basketball, great music. That's what I want to build.
All right, Pete, let's do it, man. And we're going to have fun with this. So anything Laker related, past and present, we got you. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Nick Hamilton LA and at Lakers Rain Pod. So make it rain right here on Lakers Rain.
You've been listening to Lakers Rain. Thanks to the Los Angeles Lakers. Executive producer Pete Turner. Producer John Leon Guerrero. Musical director DJ Severe. And your host, Nick Hamilton. Intro track On the Ball by Bryce Vine. We'll see you next time on Lakers Rain.